How are you doing?
Terrible.
Life's gonna beat you down sometimes. But guess what? It's time to take a trip around the hockey world and check out everything worth a second look. We had another interesting week for the goalies. We got some incredible goals, hilarious chaos with a teddy bear toss, some great sound bites.
Top titty 2x4 to end the game. That was nice.
Like, what does that even mean?
Eating pizza, having a water.
It doesn't look so hot here.
What's up, you little angry elf?
And that went on here tonight is just ridiculous.
I kill you, you kill me. It's business, you know.
And much more. So let's start with the big news this week, the Trouba trade, which was a little nasty.
Yesterday morning was accept this trade or we're scratching you. I said, okay. And then it was accept this trade or you're going on waivers. And I said, okay.
So the Trouba elbow train will be joining forces with Gudas. Yeah, expect a whole lot of that in Anaheim. This week, we also saw Tom Wilson with some nasty swelling. After catching a puck up high, clearly was in pain, had to ice it on the bench, and while LeBron would have been on IR, Wilson didn't just come back to score one. He scored another, the game winner, in a huge display of what is the hockey player.
That's my first time seeing it on the screen. It doesn't look so hot here, but...
From there, we are officially in teddy bear season, where several different teams do an annual teddy bear toss for the less fortunate. But this year is off to an interesting start. In the OHL, the Ottawa 67s were hosting, so when Luca Pinelli scored their first, the teddy bears started raining down. But so did the fists, as a full-on brawl broke out in what was an incredible scene. Fights all over the ice, the Grinch in the background. I mean, this is hockey. Staying in the OHL, Saginaw's Michael Mesaw was feeling grinchy himself as he shot several bears back over the glass, which got him a sussy teddy bear soft. Now, of course, we got some great interview moments again.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Now, that came after Jack Hughes on the breakaway went for the Forsberg, a little Instagram hockey, if you will, and Rangers analyst Steve Valiquette was triggered.
Hughes set out to embarrass Shesterkin there, and that's blatant disrespect.
What?
It was more Instagram hockey than intense hockey. The Rangers should be upset about that.
Oh, boomer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does that even mean?
Then we had Marner in Toronto.
Ways to create offense.
Oh, what's that? It was Savard in the back with some love taps. Over in Minnesota, after Kirill, the Thrill ended things in OT.
Kirill, top titty 2x4 to end the game. That was nice.
What an absolute beauty. And speaking of OT winners, this was a controversial one in Calgary as, is this goalie interference? You tell me. But Monty sure as hell didn't think so.
I never came back out. I stayed in there, eating pizza, having a water.
Now, with that, how about we get to the goals? In Buffalo, we had Tyson Kozak score his first in the NHL. Or not. Goalie interference would be called just brutal.
It's awful.
His mom can't believe it, and this doesn't happen if New York just has some damn palm trees.
We don't have palm trees. We have taxes in New York. Those are real.
Anyway, next Sabres game, it's Kozak with the redirect, and officially, he scored his first in the National. Over in Jersey, it was Jack for Luke, and wow, he fires an absolute snipe to beat Grubauer. Then we had Marchand here, dump one in, it hops up and over the net for the alley-oop goal. Wall was like, what just happened? And I don't blame him. You don't see this one every day. Down in Sunrise, it was Tkachuk with a somewhat similar one as he bats his own rebound out of mid-air to beat Blackwood. But speaking of Tkachuk, net empty and Barkov's like, net there. Don't even think about it, as Tkachuk had himself a 5-point night. This week, of course, we saw the return of Laine, which meant the return of the Fitz as well. And in the first game back, he fired an absolute piss missile to score, and just listen.
Number rips and score! Welcome to the Bell Center, Patrick Laine!
An unbelievable welcome.
The most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It's like, I don't deserve this. For sure, I'll remember forever. Like, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, it was pretty good. It wasn't better as when I scored a hat trick, but it's up there for sure.
On Long Island, it's Siplikov with a beauty. Catches his rebound between the legs. Ooh, Tasty one. Up in Toronto, it was Marner pulling the defenders towards him. Whoop, finds Matthews, the toe drag, and the finish to score. But while Marner was dishing them, he also scored himself a nice one while falling down in Pittsburgh. Keep that stick, by the way. And lastly, in the OHL, it's Beckett Seneca with some filthy footwork as he beats Dickinson. But from there, let's cover some quick ones. You remember this whole ordeal last week?
Trying to look like those guys who beat the wheels off you the other night.
Well, actions have consequences, as TNT put this absolute gem together.
After a seemingly harmless question, despite being vertically challenged, Marchand responded with a completely gutless and illegal headshot. And this type of shenanigans has no place in our game.
This was honestly fantastic. I can't play it all here, but there were so many quotes.
What's up, you little angry elf?
Time
Your
to settle
PP
down,
is
move
poo-poo.
aside.
And already got
Quit
one
talking about
coach
my
fired.
PP.
And after Marchie went on to score not one, but two in that game, he was back on for the post-game show.
What's it like playing with a guy like David Pastrnak?
I don't mind riding coattails, just like you rode Witt's coattails all the way through Spin Chicklets. Can you start a podcast with me, please?
Over in Philly, we had a rogue puck.
Heads up, boys! Wow. That was headed for the head coach.
And in Tampa, ref Cody Beach waited for the fans before he spoke.
Here's Cody Beach.
After San Jose.
Then, question for you.
How do you make a squid laugh?
I don't know.
With tentacles.
All right, from there, how about we give the goalies some love? In New York, it was Igor, the $92 million man, flashing the leather. Aiden Hill in Vegas had a beauty kicking this one out. And then there's Justus Annunen breaking out the dance moves.
Here's the electric shuffle.
But it was honestly a strange week for the goalies all around. Stolars was out there looking like a rock star with the shades. Flower went baseball outfielder to grab this one. In Vancouver, oh no. Stay in your net! Elvis, come on, brother. But speaking of which, this week, Kochetkov was back. And he immediately came out of his net in what was a collision with Anders Lee. I mean, dude's just an absolute maniac. This, by the way, was a penalty for Lee. I'm not sure about all that, but speaking of penalties, we got classic torts.
One thing I teach my team to do is not dive. Maybe I should start teaching them how to dive. And that went on here tonight is just ridiculous. So
after a couple of weak calls against the Flyers, Tortorella was not happy as Lawton had to keep himself from laughing. But to be fair, Michkov may have taken a few Russian diving lessons himself. Regardless, this kid is a dog, and he proved it. Not only was he out there scoring in bunches again, first rookie to 10 goals, he's now on a 4-game point streak, as he's also the first rookie to 25 points. But on top of all that, he got his first ejection of his career this week. He got into it with Hayton like a rabid dog. The officiating crew all had to come in. 17 here gets right in his face with the whistle. Okay, dude. But as he left the ice, he stopped to give an autograph. I mean, true rock star. And while we did get some of the rowdy,
I kill you, you kill me. It's business, you know.
in Edmonton, it was Foxa colliding with Skinner, who took a tumble. And back in the OHL, Ben Danford with a devastating hit on Blake Montgomery. Let's end this week with some wholesome content. We had Brady Tkachuk waving at the kids during warm-ups, Pietrangelo taking the intermission to watch his kids play a little hockey, then Blake Coleman getting a hand from his girls with his skates.
Service.
And with McDavid recognized for 1,000 points, it was his dog Lenny who stole the show. But lastly, this week the Blue Jackets were in Calgary, which was obviously another emotional one. Everyone was rocking Gaudreau's jersey in warm-ups. Gaudreau's dad was named the #1 star of the game, which was great. He also went into the locker room after.
You know, he grew up here from a young man to an adult, and it was special.
And Johnny's wife, Meredith, sharing that she got his signature tattooed in Calgary.
That's where his autograph really took off. It's like, this is where it all began.
So with that, I'll call it a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you in the next one.